because that way you have your primary colors. That's something always. It's Tomboy. These are okay. I've used them, but I never really pursued them. I found better ones, but these work. I mean, occasionally I use them. But like I said, if you're not sure of anything, always buy the basics, guys. Buy, like I said, for colors, buy a scheme. Maybe buy a grayscale scheme where you just buy black, gray, and white, and try them out and see what you like. If you're not sure, always just buy one or two. Because trust me, you don't want to spend a fortune on markers and decide, oh, I hate these, and then you're stuck with the whole set. So I mean, that's just common sense. But I do recommend a color scheme. Maybe buy cool colors, but I always go with the red, yellow, and blue. That way, at least I can use them for something because you have your basic colors. I recommend this protractor. I love this. Um, just a little. I got this because, as you guys know, I work at Universal. So, oops. Anyway, and then this is another great for drawing circles. I love this, and you can use it as a ruler as well. Sorry, I'm dropping my cards. Those are just cards. I recommend keeping some cards to use a splatter effect, and I'll get to that in a minute because that's another useful tool. And of course, you guys want to have. I want to get to this. You want to have books. You definitely want to have these. This is my collection, and this is what you know. Basically, I'll be teaching a lot of guys from these, but you want to have your own. I mean, figure out what works for you. And I'll get into those later. But I'm just trying to run down everything. And this is something you definitely want to invest in. I bought this. This is actually a fishing tackle box. I bought it at Sports Chalet before they all went. It's a little dusty, sorry, but I bought it at Sports Chalet for $70 before they went on a bit out of business here, and I love it. It was a great investment. It was a lot of money, but it had the storage I needed because I mean, look at all these compartments. Let me get this up for you guys. And plus, I have everything I need. Let's say I take a long trip, I go to a convention, and I want to draw. Everything is in there that I need. So I got these guys. You want to invest in these guys if you're an inker. You want to get these they're little cosmetic jars. You can use ink. You can put water in them, and they're pretty good. They don't leak, and I recommend putting them in a bag or something to. But this seems to work fine. You want to have small rulers, and I recommend this if you guys need to do bigger circles. But you saw my other protractor, my pink one or orange looking one. That one works pretty well. And these guys are water brushes. They work. I haven't used these yet, but you can put water in. You can put ink, and these are just some more supplies I haven't used. I mean, I wanted to make sure I had enough more pencils, and I'm not using this, but I always want to be prepared. You have X-Acto knives, blades, more erasers, and this I told you that black one. I've had this one for at least 10 years. It was one of my startup kits that my teacher gave to me. And blades, and I call this ammo. Whenever I, reload my pencil, you always want to have plenty of ammo. So plenty of lead, pump them full of lead. Anyway, and you guys know this course has a carry handle for me to take it places. And this is inside. This is for just if I want to carry a few things just within my sketchbook. I have tape, you have ruler, a longer ruler. What is this? 24? No. It's 18 inches. I have my Copics markers, and then some more of my jars down there I'm not using. My more cosmetic jars. Not yet anyway. Because I just started using them actually. I recommend that because these things, you want to get some of these too. Just these little watercolor trays for inking. I recommend you buy several. One for inking because eventually the ink is just not going to come off. I mean, you can keep it as safe as you can, but eventually you're just going to want to have one. It won't affect your art anyway. I don't think if you just have. I mean, it's dry. It's not going to really affect you. I mean, it's ink after all. So I do recommend you clean it regularly, but just if that happens, don't just throw it out right away. I mean, keep it as long as you can. And I have some more. I have another protractor. I love this, and then of course another tray. And I recommend you guys get a mirror, and I'll get into that why. There you are. Oh man, where am I? Anyway, I'll get into that later. And that's just another protractor. Just another gift from my mom. It's like an expensive one. I just kind of keep it for just for sentimental purposes. I don't really use it much. And then clips, always have some clips. And then this is why I got it, because when I saw this at the store, I fell in love. Oh, look at that. Look at that organization. All my pens and pencils and ready to go. If I need it, all organized. I recommend these green ones. I've used these since I was a kid. If you're gonna go for pencils, they're like little. Taking the better light. I love these ones, and they have this funky little design on them. I think they're cool. What is this design? I only have these other ones. I keep them, just in case I need more. So that, I mean, I've had these supplies. A lot of people bought me supplies and kind of got out of control. I mean, trust me, Christmas for me is like, Michael's or, Joann's for me. Everyone shops at me for. So, but just I keep my pens. I have some ink pens for inking, for lines. I recommend any kind of pens that work for you, as long as they don't bleed. Because if you're doing watercolor and you're gonna wet these, you're gonna want to be careful with that. So these ones don't really bleed. I think they're fine. These are just some. I'll get into this later. I'll do a lesson on drawing for you guys, on how to sketch and using these ones. I'll do that in another video. And then I kept a few of these, and I'll do those for you guys later. I'll show you how to use these and how to shave them and how to trim them properly, because you're going to want to, for sketching on big pads, you're going to want to do it like that. Makes it easier. I'll get into that later. So I always have some pencils like that, and then these are just more like HB and bold and 2H and all that. And yes, Denver Nuggets, had that pencil since I was a kid. You're going to want to get one of these, sandpaper. This is sandpaper. I forgot what we call these things, but it'll help you shave down your pencil to get a finer tip. And you're going to want some paper stumps, unless you want to use your fingers. They call them, what do they call, my teacher always called them paper stumps, but there's another name for like a spreader or something like that. And so you can use any kind of, by the way, any kind of mechanical pencils I want to add. I used this before I bought those fancier ones, so it doesn't really matter. You can use these and they work all the same. So I just like the fancier handle because it makes me feel good. Alrighty then. Like I said, it's good to have some Sharpies. Just don't go overboard on the Sharpies, I'm telling you. They are cheap. For the most part, depends on where you shop. But they're not really professional, I want to say. Most artists tend to stay away from them. They still use them, just not the best ones. But like I said, it's up to you guys. Depends on your work. And I use the Micron. I didn't like the Micron at first. They tend to die out pretty quickly. But I think that's just the way I was treating them. Maybe I was ruining it. Because that's when I first started using them, I hated them. I always used this one, the Faber-Castell. And it works pretty well. And you always want to have these, a few ink brush pens. It's like the ones I showed you, but these ones are specifically for ink. This one, I don't put the ink in. It's just, I use it for the tip, and I just dab it in. Like if I have one of my jars, I just dab it in like that, and I'll pick that up in a minute. And then you want to have whiteout, and like I said, you want to have a toothbrush for some splatter effect, and then you want to get some calligraphy pens for inking. I have some finer tips. Those work pretty well. And last but not least, actually no, that's not. I have more. Like I said, I'm trying to actually use these up. I use these for projects I don't really care about. When I care about, but for practice. But I have more of these, and I'm a watercolor-based artist, so these are watercolor pencils. I always have them ready to go. I'm using these ones right now because I'm trying to. These are the cheaper ones. These are the fancier ones. That's why I only have a few. If you ever have overload on supplies, usually that's a cheap one. And these are ones left over that I still have. I still use a few of these. And then my watercolor set, I'm using these. This is what I'm using. I keep this in here so I know to use this one and not the one in here. This watercolor set I've had, I swear to God, for like at least 10 years. And have to clean up later. Uh, Man, how do people film with one hand? Ugh, there we go. And yeah, as you can see, it's had a lot of use in its career. And I bought a new one recently that I'm excited to use. And then just have your brushes stored away. I keep this so I can, so I had them here originally, but nah, then I started buying Copics, so this works pretty well to store them in. This actually came with with this case, so I was gonna get rid of it, but I figured I could store more stuff in it. And yeah. Oh, and I'm gonna take you guys over here. Oh my god. And you guys want to have a big carrying board, especially for your classes. This one I still keep it because, you know, for bigger projects. And you're gonna need a T-square. This is my 23 inches, 24 inches. And you're gonna need several. And be careful with them because they tend to, this part, if you don't treat them well, this part is gonna get messed up and your drawings are gonna be kind of not so lined up. Yeah, that's not gonna be good. Your lines are gonna get off and then you're gonna get screwed. And I want to recommend this for you comic book artists. This is your typical comic book paper. I have another one. I'm using this one's brand new, but and you want to open it up, and it has basic. This is what a lot of artists use. This kind of paper. Oops, sorry. You can see how it has these lines for you to draw on to kind of keep you. I'll use this later and I'll show you, but I don't know if you can see this. But I'm sure many of you have probably seen this. I'm just saying this is what you want to carry as an artist, specifically for you comic book artists. And I recommend you guys, for you illustrators out there, and that's something I do want to get into, your illustration boards. These are always great. They're pretty expensive, so I recommend you buy them wisely. But they're thick boards, you know, they work pretty well. And yeah, this one's actually cut in half. I don't know the exact size, but you can buy these big and then cut them down however you want. And let's see, I'll show you my thicker paper. This is just another Bristol. Bristol's always good too. I think this is my thick paper. Yeah, it's my thick paper. I recommend this for, you know, just it depends on. I want to recommend you guys when you don't know your size of the projects you're doing. I recommend these kinds of things. This is, what is this? I'm sure you can see 11 by 14. These are for smaller projects if you just want to have fun. But for big projects like this, you want to get a fancier board, you know, to make it look better. And then just something to carry your case in. Here I have more sketchbooks and stuff that I haven't used it. Oh, and of course I forget, tracing paper. I don't recommend anything other than this because this is what I use. This is all I bought. Actually, it doesn't matter. Tracing paper, it is what it is. So you can do what you want. You can cut it down. It doesn't matter the size. I've cut this down and I have more in here, but I'm running out. So that's always good though to have. That's always good to have. And I recommend one of these for all you fine artists out there. You're gonna need some kind of cutting board. This is like a rubber pad, so for when you're cutting, any illustrators as well. You're gonna need something like this to cut on. That way you don't ruin your desk and you don't ruin your knives too. That's another thing because this it's less heavy on your knives, and it won't run them down as much as running them on a table. So, and plus it's gonna ruin your table if you don't. So this is just it's just a little rubber. I forgot what we call these things. I mean, I think you can use them for you know, sewing projects and things like that. But they work just as well for projects if you're cutting up boards. And yeah, so I think I've gone over the basics for you guys. And I think if you guys have any questions about how these and any recommendations, I recommend. I'm sorry, you can leave any comments and let me know. But these are the basics, and I suggest you guys. This is a lot to take in, but mainly what you want to start out with is paper, pencils, pens, and a carrying case. That is my recommendation. If you guys don't know where to start, that's where I suggest. because you guys are gonna eventually. I mean, don't forget, dude. I'm sorry. Don't forget, guys. You will acquire this. This is a lifetime of collecting. So I've been doing this since I had baby teeth, and I've been doing this since I was a kid. And a lot of this is you acquire this over a piece of time. And oh, I've almost forgot my I'm filming with my tablet right now, which is horrible right now because I can't hold it. Which if you bear with me, it's this is why I've had to edit this video with so many breaks because that's been a pain. But yeah, I use a Surface Book, and I'll get into that later when I start to show you some digital work. But yeah, I'm gonna close out this video, guys. I hope I labeled everything. Oh, actually, I forgot lighting. Lighting, yes, but that's pretty basic. And you want to have a good workstation. See my workstation. You see my mess here, but I have my chair, my comfy chair. Um, and don't worry about this, guys. This is just like I keep some tools in here that I also use for my art. I can't open it. Just now move this out of the way. I recommend you guys have some tools because you never know when you need stuff like tape or extra blades, a hammer, scissors. This is not stuff I carry around because it's never, if I need this stuff, it's usually stuff that I'm at home doing. I'm never going to need scissors doing a project, far away. And I don't sew much. I keep some stuff, and this is just a tool drawer for me. But I do recommend some tools, screwdrivers, anything you may need on the field of battle for us artists. But yeah, I'm gonna close out this video, guys, and I hope this is enlightening for you guys. Remember, this takes a long time to accumulate and get organized. I'm still getting organized myself. And the next video, you guys won't see this mess. The next video, I'm going to be going over the basics of drawing with you guys. So stay tuned for that. And I'm glad, I hope you guys enjoy watching. So this is Kojak21 signing out.